Okay, good evening to all of you. So today we are going to start our second session. That is, we'll talk about the factor 2 qualities, right? So with respect to their relevance and why they are important, what is being looked after in, which is exactly required in the defense forces to become armed forces officer. Now factor 2 relates with the hard quality, right? So your empathy, your concern towards others, because as you know, the teamwork is very, very important for defense forces. You should not be an individualistic person. Rather, you should be ready to work as a team member. So your belief in the team, your team spirit is directly related to your factor 2 qualities, right? So factor 2 qualities में सबसे पहले सर्वोपरि जो आता है, that is called as social adjustments. Now, social adjustments का मतलब होता है how you are able to cope up with your social elements around you. Let it be your seniors, your peer group, or your juniors. Are you able to understand them? Or are you going to just label them, criticize them, pull them down? So, do you have some adjustment issues with respect to these people in your social surrounding or not? It is being checked. Okay. So, the more you show your adaptability, your adjustments with your surrounding, the more likely to be you believing that you being a team member, it becomes a established thing, right? So हमें किसी को criticize नहीं करना है, because what happens is every individual in this world, he sees the behavior of other person, right? Your behavior is what is visible to the rest of the world. Now your actions, behavior in terms of your actions, can be a verbal action or physical action. It is all driven by your attitude. Your attitude is collection of your faith, belief, whatever the nurturance has taken place since the time you were infant, now the time where you're standing as an adult. So whatever you have, believe, what you believe and what you trust, you are having trust about others. So it is what is your expectations about others. So you are in other words, you are trying to impose your beliefs, your understanding onto others. जैसे मैं चाहता हूं वैसा सब करें. So if somebody is not doing as per your wishes, because just like you, he is also driven by his attitude. So you are not understanding his attitude, but you are actually marking him by his behavior, and that is why you tend to criticize somebody. So criticize करना इसका मतलब होता है कि आप अपना चरित्र दिखा रहे हैं, because you show that you are incapable of adjusting with him, right? So it talks about your personality. If you are finding faults with others, if you are able to cope up with others, you need not to glorify your actions by pulling somebody down or by showing somebody in the dim light. So that is what is required in social adaptability. Next quality which comes in factor 2 is cooperation. Cooperation का मतलब होता है, as a team member, you are having a sense of understanding what is going on and whether your help is required or not. If you are able to anticipate that situation requires you to be there as a helping member, so you are not looking for an invitation, right? You yourself is going and delivering your help, and that too without any conditions. So it's an unconditional helping ability, right? So you are able to help others without putting any conditions. You are not looking for any glorifications or recognitions, rewards, awards, whatever your expectation. Without any expectations, you are there and offering your helping hand. That is what is required, which again strengthens your teamwork, right? Next quality which comes here in factor 2 is your sense of responsibility. Now, as a human being, as a responsible citizen, we ought to know about our duties and responsibilities. The obligations, social obligations, we are aware. We should be aware. At this age, when you are already graduated, you are holding a license to work in the society. That means whatever work now which is required to be done, you must give back to the society. And your actions will be recognized, and thereafter you say that you are contributing in the society, right? So you should be knowing your responsibilities, your social obligations, and after once you are aware, you are all there to discharge them dependably. You are not looking for any kind of supervision. You are a self-driven person. So that is what is being judged in sense of responsibility. So it conveys that you can be trusted upon, right? Somebody can just give you or assign you, or it's not a question of assignment. You should be volunteering yourself to seek those responsibilities and discharge them with sincerity, utmost sincerity. Now, in this sense of responsibility, there is another thing which is called as you are not found wanting on moral values. Okay, the moral, social moral values, you are just there. You are able to cope up with those things, right? So you are not looking for easy money. You are not looking for short-time gains. Okay, your conduct is socially matured. That is what is sense of responsibility, right? So these are all related to your heart. That is why it's called as heart-related functions. Another query which comes here is whenever you are facing some kind of confrontation, opposition, how to cope up in the group, right? So this must be everybody is like being a compared to freshers, the repeaters are facing this kind of opposition when the group discussion is going on, or when they are executing some kind of task on the field in form of a outdoor activity, or maybe the group discussion which is going on. So जैसे हमें मालूम है कि जैसे जो नदी का तेज प्रवाह होता है उसको ब्लंटली आप रोक नहीं सकते, राइट? सो इफ यू आर क्रिटिसाइजिंग अ ग्रुप मेंबर टू create some kind of impact in the group that he should be keeping quiet and then you should get a chance to speak, there is a way to do it. You cannot bluntly go and speak like that. Okay, you stop, let me speak. Not like that. So you have to mold the pressure of the water in such a manner that it will not feel obstructed immediately, because you don't want to feel a pressure. And at the same time, the individual who is dominating, he should not be made to feel that he is being opposed bluntly, right? So it's called a social tact. So you will have to take his point on his face value. You should intervene and appreciate whatever he has done till so far. And then he goes into a hearing mode, and then social tact को use करके आप अपनी बात को रख सकते हैं. So that is how you should be able to face the criticism or face the opposition or some kind of conflict of ideas which takes place during a group discussion or during some activity. That is how it should be handled like a gentleman. So your team spirit should be supreme. It should not be compromised at all. Okay, at any cost, you should not be seen that you don't believe in team synergy, right? So you will not let any of the group member feel that you are placing him out of the teamwork. So that is how you should be conducting yourself maturely in a more sensible way. Okay, sense of responsibility is the most important factor in factor 2 because सेंस ऑफ रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी क्या है? ये हमारा नेचुरल इंक्लिनेशन है कि हम अपनी ड्यूटीज, हमें दोबारा काम के लिए बोलना नहीं पड़ता, ना ही हमें कोई जरूरत है कोई हमें इसका आभास दिलाए कि व्हाट आर माय रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, बट यू नो द रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी आई एम शोल्डरिंग, सो आई शुड बी अवेयर अबाउट देम. सो इट स्टार्ट्स फ्रॉम योर चाइल्डहुड. जब माँ बाप बोलते हैं कि बेटा अपने कपड़ों को, अपने जूतों को एक जगह यहाँ पर रखो, इधर उधर मत फेंको, that is a time you should be seen a part of the family team. That's also a teamwork, right? So it starts from there, and that is how you can get carried along with you when you are becoming adult, when you are graduating. You are responsible. At the time of graduation, we are seeing the whole, game of graduation is this, that very soon I'll be passing out from this college. So I might as well now only start upskilling myself so as to face campus, maybe a campus interview, or maybe I'm aiming for the particular job. So what are the things which are required in that particular domain, I am acquiring, I am putting myself continuously towards acquiring those skill sets. I am working on that. So I have to anticipate what is my future requirement, and then I got a forecasting, I got a foresight, and I am able to do work accordingly. So this sense of belongingness is a part of sense of responsibility, right? Whatever task has been given to you or you volunteer for the task, you should get involved wholeheartedly in this. So that is called as sense of responsibility. Before coming to the SSB, everyone, the candidates must remember this, that whatever job they are doing or whatever people they are interacting with them, so they should have some kind of concern for them, right? You should feel that it's going to be a teamwork and you are a team member. So whatever a person, if a person is not sounding well, you must go and ask him. There should be a concern and empathy in your heart towards him. So it should be there. You should not be thinking about being a self-centric person. कि मेरे को क्या फर्क पड़ता है कि मेरे टीम मेंबर को कुछ प्रॉब्लम हुआ है. You must understand that when you call a group of people as a team, that means these individuals are working towards a common attainment of a common goal, which has been assigned to you. So the weakest link, the weakest member will decide whether the team effort is going to be a successful event or not. So that is why you should be, as an individual of the team, you should be ready to, fill or complement the job of the person who is doing a different kind of a job in the team, who has been interested with this. You must know what all things are being done by other people, other members of the team. So you should have that kind of concern that it's all a common goal and we all are responsible towards attainment of that common goal. And we must gear up ourselves to take place or to shift swiftly our roles so as to not to de-accelerate the performance or the progress of the efforts, so that we will be able to achieve the common task. So that should be the motto. And you आपको SSB में आने से पहले ही ये सब चीजें इस पे विश्वास करना चाहिए, because फौज में there is nothing called as individualism. It is all about teamwork. You will be doing the whatever the operations are there. So everything is, you will see there's a teamwork. Logistic people, accounts people, education people, Adam people, everybody is working towards the operations. Okay, the sustenance of flying operations or combat operations, that is ultimate aim. So every individual is working for that in Indian Air Force. Similarly, like Indian Air Force, Indian Army, and Indian Navy, it's about the teamwork. So every individual plays its role, and everybody should understand what are the roles people are doing. They should be concerned about that, right? कि मेरा contribution इतना है, तो मेरा contribution अगर ये रुक गया तो आगे दूसरे team member को problem हो सकती है. You should have that kind of concern and sympathy. Okay. So most importantly, why so many people are failing, there is a largest contributor of this is a factor 2, which is the largest contributor. Okay, we will not compromise this quality, factor 2 qualities, over selection of a candidate for sending him to the academy if he is found or she is found wanting in any of these qualities, right? Because हमें पता है कि this factor 2 it directly relates to the teamwork. Most of the individuals, what they are facing problem is they are actually self-centered people. Okay, so for time being, they will try to show that as if they are the team members, but heart in heart they don't believe it. They are superficially doing this thing. So that is why, to make it as a natural phenomena, you must understand the value of a teamwork, and then you must start believing in the team efforts. Then only it can become a natural affair for a candidate, and he'll be picked up. Similarly, the criticizing each other, एक दूसरे की पीठ पीछे एक दूसरे की बुराई करना, criticize करना, bluntly अपनी बातों को रखना, impulsive होना, दूसरे की बात ना सुनना, right? ऐसे ही जो अब हेल्प करते हो तो यू बिलीव इन गिव एंड टेक पॉलिसी कि मैंने तेरी हेल्प की, तुझे भी मेरी हेल्प करनी चाहिए. All these kind of things which are very very common in civil and world, it is not liked by defense forces. Similarly, as this age where you are in, there should be a reasonable sense of maturity, reasonable sense of your conduct, that you are aware about your responsibilities, your duties, and you are sincere, and you can be trusted upon, that you don't require any kind of supervision or any kind of prompt. You take initiatives. Okay, you are aware about your duties and discharge them. That is what is required. If you don't do that, then obviously this becomes a major contributory factor in not you yourself getting selected or recommended there in SSB.